Good morning, this is Vicky.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show. And you're listening to the Two Natural Ladies. Wow, what an amazing interview that was.
That was.
Very exciting.
Smiling from ear to ear. Yes, very uplifting and uplifted.
Yes.
So, yes, and the cogs are turning about, who we could introduce and collaborate with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I think there's because one of the things, and you were just reading it, is there are a lot of women in need. There are women that are homeless and or one or two paychecks away from being homeless, and these 10 sponsor scholarships.
Scholarships, there we go, yes.
The 10 scholarships available, if you're listening and you either know someone or you're looking for another thing to do or a way of getting yourself out of a rut or whatever, this could be the thing for you.
And the word unique, I wrote it down because Paige said, they want the businesses to be unique, and I love that. And unique comes with its own set of challenges.
Yes. Doesn't
it? So, yes, unique, and then, I can imagine people might flock, but sometimes it takes people a while to get their heads around what the unique offering is.
If we look at our friendship and our business and what we've created, it's quite unique. And to find our place in the world and how we can, because we're all about making a difference and what can we do for others, and we need to eat. Yep. So it's a way of having it all work. So having a business that's actually viable and at the same time doing what it is we want to do. And like we were saying at the beginning of the show, that our mentor Jeff saying that we're standing in the middle of it. We've got all these diamonds there, and I think that's the thing with everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
They've all got those diamonds in their backyard, or they're standing on them. They just need to see them. So
I think that neuroplasticity, that's what the brain science stuff. I love that, because not only we have to give ourselves time to retrain our brain, yes, but we also need to give others time to retrain their brain. So the ones that we're wanting, we're thinking, we think Two Natural Ladies has value in the world.
Yes.
But, they say it takes, 10 or 12 exposures to something for people to get what it is you're trying to say.
Yes.
And so,
well, I know with Paige, each time I listen to her and talk to her, I get a deeper understanding of what it's about.
Yes.
Because it took me a few times to really understand how the structure worked, and I'm someone who likes to know how it all, fits in together. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So,
well, and I didn't get it. You kept talking about it. You're just rabbiting on about it, and I didn't get it until I got onto a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
And really, the Zoom meeting wasn't, no offence, but it wasn't, a startling presentation.
No.
I loved it because it was us being us.
Yes.
And we didn't all have it handled, or we just got on a Zoom meeting and all of a sudden everything else came together. So I think sometimes we run away from things we don't feel confident about or don't know, but actually steeping ourselves into the unknown. It's like when we were first learning to walk. If we stopped learning to walk because we couldn't do it.
That's right. And Paige, it sounds like she's somebody who's absolutely willing to embrace the unknown and be okay in that uncomfortableness of, I'm not quite sure how this is going to go.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. And out of that, I mean, there will be times through the processes with this that they're going to need to know exactly what they're doing. But a lot of the time, it particularly at the beginning where you're forming waterfall. Anyway, one of the areas when you first go in is really just connecting with all these different people. And if you've gone in not knowing what you want to do, it's just a matter of creating relationships with these people. And as you chat and start learning, oh, you really like that, I really like that. Oh, we all really, and you know what? And it'll just come out of nothing.
Well, yeah, and I totally trust that everyone, I suppose what I'm trying to say is, I mean, we're all experts in our own, but we can still be, we don't all have to be polished speakers.
No. That's right.
We can just be us.
Yes.
And we might stumble over our words.
Yes.
Or we might, I don't know, But just because we're occurring as ordinary doesn't mean we're not extraordinary. And I feel like sometimes in certain situations, and that's something to break through, when I sort of show up as me, because I like to really be me and I really fight that whole thing of having to show up as somebody else.
Yes.
And I feel misunderstood and misinterpreted, and there are times where I've felt harshly judged, and that's when it's really difficult to stand your ground and actually trust yourself, because you're being harshly judged, and then, some of us, me in particular, will, question myself.
Oh, I don't think anybody wouldn't really. They might pretend not to, or they're very strong in their own selves.
Yes.
But the majority of us are going to, if we're being judged, and particularly by more than one person, we're going to. It's going to have an effect on us.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the whole thing of there's millions and billions of people on the planet, and they're not all going to agree. They're not all going to think the same as us.
No.
And there will be some people that will think for instance, what we're doing is a load of rubbish. And if that's the case, thank you very much. Turn to another station.
Well, every now and then we think, well, maybe the whole world thinks we're a load of rubbish, but we're having fun, so let's keep doing
right.
it.
And we're not a load of rubbish. I know we're not. We've got all those diamonds, as we've been told, And look, I tell you what, someone else who's not a load of rubbish is Lynn McTaggart.
And I'm sure she's had her doubts.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure. So she's been studying, because I've talked to her about it for quite a few times. So, I've been studying the power of thoughts for nearly 20 years, and I've discovered one unsettling truth. Your thoughts are not locked inside your head, but are being broadcast 24/7 and have a powerful effect on others, particularly those who are battling medical conditions. Even though you are giving excellent advice and guidance, all those private doubts or judgments you're holding about a particular patient's chances of success can have a devastating effect on their outcome. In fact, every thought you have, every statement you make is affecting the healing ability of your clients. So she's talking about, people in the medical profession. And in the 30 years that I've been studying holistic medicine, I've discovered that even the kindest, most competent practitioners inadvertently say and think things that impede their patients' abilities to heal.
Wow.
So as we know, Lynn McTaggart's all about intention and thoughts, and she's created this power of 8 where people can literally be meditating for, not very long. As I said, I haven't got fully involved with it yet, but meditate for, say, an hour maximum, maybe even less, and then help heal people.
And we read out last week about the scientifically... whenever it was.
Yes.
It was a while ago now.
Yes.
It's the scientifically created study that actually measured the amount of photons happening in that space.
That's
compared to normal. It was like 20's normal, maybe, and 100,000 was what was coming out of that space.
That's right.
Yes.
And you and I have watched a program which shows how, when you have thought about a plant and giving love to the plant just blossoms in front of you, and all sorts of things, and that we just don't realise that, so just one disagreement can delay wound healing by an entire 24 hours.
Wow.
So imagine the effect of just one ill-timed thought by you, particularly as a dearly trusted therapist. So again, she's talking, but there's a flip side here. Imagine the effect of sending out positive and loving intentions in addition to giving your patients medicine or treatment. So again, it's just all about that, we don't realise that our thoughts and what we say and what we feel can make a huge difference.
We keep forgetting, don't we?
We do.
And even with your example of the plant is so open and responsive. It's actually easier to heal a plant than a person who's not open. So I knew a spiritual healer many years ago, and we were wanting to do some healing on someone, and he said, well, that person, I'll try. He said, I can do it remotely. I'll try, but that person has to be open. And I was really grappling with, is this really real?
Yes.
But, I wanted to. There was a part of me that really felt it was, but then I'm like, well, is that your out? But we saw that on that television program when somebody tried to block the other person's energy.
They couldn't see. That's right.
Yeah, they actually managed to block.
Yes,
So,
yes. Yeah, and she says here, I've studied master healers. I've tested it with countless people around the globe. I've proved it in more than 35 global scientific experiments, working with frontier scientists and leading universities. And she's a journalist, so this isn't, a woo-woo lady, She is someone who wants to have scientific proof, and she has over and over again. I've taught thousands of people to unleash a miraculous power they've never dreamed of to heal their health, their career or finances, and their relationships. So anyway, I just think she's an amazing woman to keep in touch with.
Absolutely. So Lynn McTaggart, so how did you just Google her?
Our friend Jeanette Pearson, she talked about Lynn McTaggart, and so I then Googled. Yes, but it was Jeanette. And I then bought 2 of her books, one which is called The Field, which is a book about quantum physics, which my son is reading or has read some of. And then I've got The Power of 8. But it's one of those books that I feel like I need headspace. And at the moment, my only reading really is at night. And it's not the right book to read at night. So it's one of those books that will happen when I've got some space to read it and look at it.
And I will just say,
yes,
Jeanette Peterson.
Sorry,
yeah, I know.
Jeanette.
I know who you're confusing her with. And she's got a Facebook page, and she's a mindfulness coach, and she pops up all the time for me now. Her little quotes, like I've got her on my Facebook now. Awareness is a powerful act of taking back control. Finding peace in your heart is closer than you might think. So she, just things that pop up during my day. Thank you, Jeanette.
Oh, I'll have to work out how I can get those popping up in my day too. Yes, because I love what Jeanette's all about and what she's doing.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.